Welcome to Knit One.
Part 2, episode 133. Yay! We're back from Rhinebeck.
I'm Sheila, also known as Sheila D37. Apparently, I don't know who I am.
Sheila from Rhinebeck.
You know what I was going to say? It's like I answer the phone. Hi, this is Sheila from the lab. I'm Sheila, also known as Sheila D37.
Let's start that over again.
No,
That's fine.
No,
Crazy.
all
right.
Let's keep it. It's fun.
I'm Wendy, also known as Penny Winnie. I'm from the house.
You sure?
This is Wendy from the house.
Sorry.
And welcome back to the show. I'm just going to state right up front, I feel crummy. I got the Rhinebeck cold. Managed not to be sick at Rhinebeck this year, but I have a cold now.
Don't pass it to me. I'll kill you.
I don't know. I probably got it from my parents. They both have colds that they got from being in Europe. So, shout outs. I did have some shout outs this week. Who did I shout out to?
I don't know.
I remembered thinking I was going to do a shout out to somebody. Well, whoever you are.
If she remembers it, we'll shout you out next week.
If I said to somebody I was going to give you a shout out this week, I will do it next week when we're more organized. Disorganization is the word of the day.
Not good.
Not good. So we're still doing our knit-alongs, but we are doing 2 contest drawings, the Train for Maine pattern and the Where's Carolyn drawing we're doing at the end of the show. So,
and I believe our knit-along ends this month, doesn't it?
Yeah, so I think next week we'll probably be drawing prizes for that.
I think so, too.
So,
that's the sweater knit-along and the hats for charity knit-along.
Get your stuff in.
And on this thread on the thread that announces the podcast is up, give us ideas for the next knit-along. Maybe holiday items?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
November,
also,
December, yeah.
I did get a really nice thank you from one of the podcasters that got bumped off of Blip. And so if you are watching me and you are a podcaster that got bumped off of Blip and you would like me to put you on the list of podcasters that got bumped off of Blip in our show notes in this episode or subsequent episodes, let me know. Because I know that somebody wrote to me and said, thank you for doing that. I only knew the ones that I heard about. I don't have a full list or anything, but she said a couple of people had watched the show and they had wondered why her show hadn't updated, and they went then to check in, because a lot of people get their podcasts right off of FeedBurner, and they don't necessarily get the link from the group or the blog where you'd be able to say that. And they actually told her that they'd heard about what happened from our podcast. So let me know. I'm more than happy to sort of communicate that, since we still have access to Blip at this time. So, and I want to help people out as they move into their new venues, and so that the people that enjoy their shows can find out where to get them. So that's pretty much it for my shout outs.
I don't think I have any.
I feel really bad because I swear I am forgetting something. All right. So, what's on the needles? What's on the dance card?
Go first.
Well, the first thing on the dance card is my Hiro sweater. It's gotten a little more love since I showed it on the Rhinebeck podcast. You can get a much better idea of the color of it now that we're not in that crazy cabin lighting. So that's the sleeve. Oh, I guess I didn't bring the body with me I did bring the body with me. The body's in my sweater bag from Knitting's my bag. Here's the body. So, as you can see, body's done up to the armpits. It's a big shapeless mess at this point. I don't even know where this side... I totally made up my own shaping because I knit a larger sweater on the bottom and a small sweater in the boobs. So, I was kind of winging it. So I have a little bit more left on this sleeve. It's coming out really pretty. Look, pretty. I almost just want to stop here and let it be arm warmers. I'm so tired of knitting stockinette. This is an easy pattern, very well written. I'm not complaining about the pattern at all, but I am just tired of knitting purple stockinette. That's all I'm saying. So I'm keeping it in my Knitting is My Bag mustache bag, and my Knitting is My Bag, excuse my French, big ass knitting bag. I love this thing. I have 2 of these and they are so good for sweaters. So put all the yarn for my sweater, and the sweater is in there, except for the part that I'm carrying around. So that's number 1. Number 2 on the needles. This got no love at all. Some of you will remember that I knit myself a beautiful glove for Rhinebeck. Well, as it turned out, it was not cold enough to wear gloves at Rhinebeck.
Well, at night it kind of was, but...
Yeah, but not at the festival.
No.
So...
We're not going to continue it, though, right?
Oh, yeah. I got this much done in the second one. You can see that I started to do the cabling on the wrist. And I am going to finish it up because I will use these to walk to school to pick my kids up and stuff. And that is in my Halloween bag from Stitch by Jessalou. Hopefully the second one will come out better.
Yeah, I was just seeing, because I like long, long arms.
Yeah, I do too. This is a finished project. I forgot about that. And the last thing that I have on the needles.
Oh.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Is my beautiful Semele out of Leading Men Fiber Arts Ghost Light Lace in the Envy colorway.
Something else on the needles.
Oh, I have one more thing. Yeah, I forgot. So that's going. What is this situation here? All right.
I don't know.
It makes it look really dark here, but I think it's just the shadow. I was like, what is that black spot? There's no spot on it. I love how this is coming out. I'm loving knitting it. I didn't work on it this weekend much or this week because it requires me to look at a chart still. I haven't memorized the pattern yet. So there's that. Oh, my bead fell off my bag. I hope it's in here. And then, I'm not even going to show that project because I hadn't opened that. Last thing, I got sucked into buying some extremely expensive yarn. I blame Denise, my friend Denise, who you may know on the internet is mad about Matisse.
It's all your fault.
She enabled me. You know what it is though? She wanted to go to Tess Yarn, which is a Maine-based yarn store.
Okay.
Dyer store, whatever. And so I was like, and we were just all together on Sunday, and I had already bought all the things that I showed you last week. And we went into the booth, and the colors were really pretty, and the yarn, there's a lot of luxury fibers.
But the dyer tends to favor black. Like, there's always seems to be
black. Yeah, there's a lot of black blended, and a lot of, two color or, gradiated, very pretty stuff. And, so I saw it, and I was like, yeah, that's nice. And then I walked over, and I looked at it's a lot of luxury. There was a lot of mohair, a lot of angora, a lot of silk, a lot of cashmere, a lot of really luxury, lush yarns with the more luxury yarns having a pretty, a nice price, a pretty big price tag. I was like, I'm not going to buy any of this. Then I saw Denise holding the skein of Kitten, which is 65% cashmere and 35% silk. And I had to buy some because it was so awesome. So I looked around. She had this beautiful turquoise and black colorway right here. And I looked around for a different colorway, but I liked the turquoise and black so much that I ended up not only buying the yarn that she was going to buy, but the exact same yarn.
Why is it not on needles?
Because I was knitting with a friend last night and I made a mistake. So I have to rip back a few rows.
So
this is the second time.
Okay.
The first time I knit this, I noticed after about 25 rows that I had knitted into a Mobius strip. I've never, ever done that before.
I've done it once.
I was like, oh my gosh, how did this even happen? So then I cast it, and you know what? I totally didn't mind ripping out and knitting again because it's really nice to knit with this because it's 65% cashmere. It does feel like a kitten. It's so soft.
Oh yeah, it does.
So what I'm doing is I was inspired by the project, and I can't remember the woman's name, so I'll post it, her Ravelry name, I'll post it on the bottom of the screen. But Denise told me she had found this cowl, and it's meant to be double wrapped around you like that so that it stacks up. And she got it from looking under the kitten base, and she found this Raveler's Project. And she basically just cast on for a 38-inch. She swatched, and she figured out how many stitches she needed to cast on for about 38-inch cowl. And And then she knit, I think her plan was to knit 9 rows of stockinette and then a purl row and then 9 rows of stockinette and do that until she ran out of yarn. And so I was like, all right, sounds like, that sounds really cool. So I figured out how many stitches to cast on. I put it in my project notes in case you have this yarn or a similar yarn and you'd like to make the same cowl. And I did one section that's stockinette, and then I did a second stockinette section. And then I thought, wouldn't it be interesting to do a slip stitch section so that you can see how it does this fairly striping thing. So you can't see it very well, but I'm actually doing linen stitch. I'm going to do a linen stitch stripe, and then I'm going to do another plain stockinette stripe, and then I think I'm going to do that's it. And then I'm going to do a seed stitch stripe. The lady that we got inspired by is called So Many Gifts, SEWMANY Gifts, Pretty Kitty Cowl. So it will fold up like that, but mine is going to have a little several more textured areas. So mine might not end up being as wide as hers is, but it doesn't really matter because it's doubled. So as long as I get at least this wide, I'll have a nice thick cowl. So I'm talking with my friend last night and knitting, and I realized that I knit with the linen stitch. You knit one slip to the front, knit one slip with the yarn in front, knit one slip with the yarn in front, and then on the next row you knit, and then you slip one with the yarn in front, knit. So it's offset, and then you knit, except that I went slip row, knit row, slip row, knit row, knit row, slip row. And then I was like, why does this look wrong? I was like, ugh! So I had to rip out 3 rows. And I haven't put it back on the needles yet because I was tired. So, yes.
Oh, so you've already ripped out?
I already ripped out the 3 rows. So I have about this much done. And I am so pleased to announce that I am doing this as a knit along with Denise, and we're calling it the No More Knit Alone 2013 because every time I do a knit along with anyone, not just you, with anyone, it always turns into a knit alone where I'm the only one knitting. But I saw photographic evidence that Denise has cast hers on.
That's pretty much what it is, right?
Yeah, that's what yours is.
Because I didn't bring it today.
So that's it for what I have on the needles right now.
Okay. So on my needles, last week I showed you a pair of socks, socks in progress, I should say. SIP, socks in progress, for my son, made out of worsted weight, Dreamin' Classy. I'm glad I didn't knit on them too much because when I got home, it was really kind of tight for him, and I kind of questioned it because his foot probably isn't as wide as mine, but it is starting to get to be more of a man-sized foot. So I have to rip what progress I did do out, and I think I cast on 48 stitches. So I think I'll do 52, and I think that should be enough. Plus, I need more worsted weight. So those are going to be ripped back. But I do have a sock still in progress, or half of a sock, half done. No.
Let's not go through this again. It's half of a project, half done.
I have a half a sock done.
There we go. Let's just call it that. Let's just call it what it is.
It's not going to show it really good because it's really a gorgeous colorway. Actually, that's so bad.
That's a pretty fair.
This is Blue Moon Fiber Arts. It was part of the club shipment, and I think it was Cables of Wrath. Cables of Wrath. It's lightweight, which I love lightweight, but it's not my favorite. I like the medium weight. And it's absolutely gorgeous to knit with. I'm knitting this on 1.5 needles. Is that? It's in between 1 and 2. It's 1.5, right?
I think so.
2.75. I don't know what it is. I don't remember. I'm making this for my coworker. She does realize that she's getting a gift, in the sense of she realizes now how, precious this is going to be. She's like, I'm never going to want to wear them. I'm like, no, that's not why I'm making them. So I'm doing the Spice Boy pattern, or the Spice Man pattern by Yarnissima. I'm going to show you. It's one of I think it's my all-time favorite toe-up socks. It fits really, really well. you do have to increase for the gusset.
And it has, instead of doing a stockinette gusset, it has a purled gusset, so it just kind of like stands out a little bit.
It really does. And
I like yarnies in this
it's
gusset.
funny though, because it has you start it in the middle and you're like, oh, that's not going to work. It's not going to work. It works. For some reason, it just, the way she does it works. So this is where I am. I'm just about ready to do the heel turn. This is for a size 6 foot.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's not bad.
No, that's why I told her I'd make it for her, because she has a size 6 foot.
Yeah.
And these are really girly colors. This is really, it's pinks and purples and magentas. It's absolutely gorgeous. And and if you look, my nails happen to match.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why. I was doing purple this week.
You just like to match your nails
No,
with
I
your
don't.
knitting projects.
I don't, really. I don't. Actually, I was thinking that this was very similar to, if I put a touch of green on it, would be Halloween-y.
Yeah, it would.
So anyways, I'm using this yarn to give away because, normally I don't do that. I have 2 skeins of it, that's why.
Oh, that's right. That was one of the clubs where you got double dipping.
I did, and they told me to keep it, so I did. So that is what's on the needles. I did this. You'll be so proud. I did basically this whole thing at work the other day.
Wow.
I know. I was shocked at how fast it was progressing.
I'm impressed. My knitting mojo is at an all-time low right now, but I think it's just because I have so much going on in the outside world that I just can't.
Well, you have a lot of projects on the needles, too. This is my only
I'm
project besides my other one.
But I'm not even doing any of them. I'm just sort of I'm there's just a lot going on. So that's all we have on the needles, yes?
That's all I have, yeah. Like I said, I got to get that worsted weight, and then what I might do is finish this one sock and then maybe punch out Max's, because it's worsted weight. It went really quick. I mean, you saw how quick I was doing. I just need to get the yarn in the right sizes.
So I have one date to rate. If you've watched the show for a year, then you will know that last fall I got the Knitting's My Bag and More kit for the Christmas one, and it was this gnome bag, and it came with this Spinning Fates yarn that was dyed to match, and it came with 2 patterns by the Proverbial Knitter that you could use this skein of worsted weight yarn with. I didn't really feel the love for either of the 2 patterns, but I did want to knit something with the yarn because I love these 2 colors. So I knit this Spiral Cowl, and I can't remember who the designer is, but I will link it in the show notes. And did I put the thing on here? I bought a little button and attached it, and this just holds it closer to you. So that's how it turned out. And because the theme of the yarn, is that it? Spiral Cowl, who's it by?
Is that it?
Yeah. Carrie McKiernan. That's exactly it. And if I show it to you, you can see. It's just got a raised
it's free.
Stitch. It's free pattern on Ravelry, Carrie McKiernan. And what I did, and you may remember this from last year, is I went on Etsy and I found a button in the shape of a little gnome. I think that is the cutest button ever. So that I could put it on the cowl. And it's just really simple. It's a button and a little piece of a yarn loop that I attached. And you just kind of close the top up a little so it doesn't gap. So when I wear it, I can put it to the side a little bit. And but it keeps the top tighter and the bottom would be long under my coat. So I finally finished it. I sewed the button on. I've had the button for a year.
Oh, that's right.
I finished this project. I finished the knitting of it a long time ago, but during Rhinebeck weekend, I brought it with me, and I actually took the time to sew it up. This was a good use of this skein of yarn. I only had this much left.
It's pretty hard.
Yeah, I really like it.
Who dyed it?
Spinning Fates dyed
All right.
it. So, yeah, and I can't remember, there was a name for it, but I'll put all that stuff in the project notes. But I'm glad that this is finally done, because I love this particular project bag, and I want to be able to use it for other projects. It's been holding this project for the whole time, because I knew that it wasn't done yet, and I needed to do it. So that's my, rate my date. That's a very easy cowl, and it's a nice design, and I think because it's very simple, it would look good either with variegated yarn or with semi-solid or solid. So check it out. All right.
I don't have a date to read.
And Whirlwind Romance, nothing this week. I was going to try to spin some of the stuff that I got at Rhinebeck just so I could try out my new Lazy Kate, my travel Kate. But I just had too much going on this week. So no Whirlwind Romance. Crushes and Heartbreaks. I guess I'm going first. Sorry. I guess my biggest heartbreak is that I have this cold now. I am so proud of myself for avoiding having a cold or asthma issue at Rhinebeck this year for the first time, I think, in 4 years. I have not been sick at Rhinebeck. But I woke up this morning with a cold, so that's kind of a heartbreak. My other heartbreak is that we have my son's medical issues are pretty much straight out, but my husband is going through some medical issues. It's probably nothing, but it's very stressful. And hopefully we'll have more definitive answers after next week. It's just, it's one of those things where there's probably nothing wrong, but there could be something wrong. And it's, you can't stop worrying about the what ifs, even though, logically the odds of it being something really serious are small. So that has been on my mind. My husband was out of town on Monday and Tuesday. So I was pretty busy because I had the kids and my parents had an emergency layover in Boston from they were in Europe for their 50th wedding anniversary trip, and their plane got canceled, or I don't even know what happened, but somehow they ended up having to stay overnight in Boston. So I had to go. I dropped Sheila off from Rhinebeck to pick her car up at my house, unpacked everything, got back in the car, went to the airport and got my parents, brought them back here, let them sleep, pick them up in the morning, drive them back to the airport. And then on Tuesday, my husband's parents had a layover in Boston because they had they're on a fall foliage cruise. So and my husband was gone, of course. So I had to pull the kids out of school early and go do like a luncheon thing at my sister-in-law's house so that they could spend a couple of hours with their grandparents before they had to get back on their boat. So Monday and Tuesday were like, Monday I slept all day, I was worn out. Tuesday was just, running around driving everybody. And then on Wednesday, we got the bad news that my husband's car, his faithful Cooper S, is never going to be fixed. It probably would cost us $5,000 to get it repaired.
Wow.
So Wednesday night, we went to the dealership and negotiated for a brand new car. We traded in the old one. There's some question whether it really needs a repair. So they gave us we kind of like split it down the middle. We're taking a risk that it's actually worth like $4,000 more. They're taking a risk that it actually is going to cost them to pay it. So we worked out a nice thing. So we haven't gotten the car yet, but my husband bought a Mini Cooper S Countryman 4-door Mini Cooper.
What color?
Bright red with racing stripes. And if you're watching, Jen, also known as Pitaloop, you'll be happy to know we got another Mini Cooper Countryman.
That's not what I wanted.
It's really cute. We test drove it on Wednesday night. We were there forever. And this is so I guess for my husband, that's kind of a crush, like he got a brand new car. But the heartbreak is that we paid off the old Mini Cooper in August. August 1st.
Is this a brand new?
Brand new. We bought brand new. My husband
Did he get racing stripes? So
what it looks like? He got racing stripes on it.
Like?
Yes, except that it has black instead of white. That's what his new Mini Cooper looks like.
Nice.
So the heartbreak is the fact that my husband bought this used Mini Cooper S 5 years ago. We paid it off. We got the title in the mail literally on August 1st. In August, we had to pay $700 for something that was wrong with it. In September, we had to pay another $800 for something that was wrong with it. And it still wasn't fixed all the way. And so we took it in. It was in the shop for a week. We had a loaner car from the shop. This is not at the dealership. This was at the shop. They took it all apart. They couldn't find what was wrong. They said they fixed it. It was a coolant leak. They thought it was the head gasket, but then they said they didn't see a head gasket problem. Put the car back together. They did not charge us for it because they were like, we couldn't find the problem. And as soon as my husband drove it home, literally, if you put coolant into the engine, thing in the under the hood, you could see coolant pouring out the bottom. Like, it was not even going in anywhere. So we broke down and took it to the dealership because clearly the guy, I mean, and he was not a mini specialist.
Right.
He's a foreign car specialist. We took it to the dealership, and they said that it probably was a head gasket, but that it was going to cost us $700 of labor to have them take it apart to check. And I said, I'm done. Like, we've been paying more every month for this car than we did when we were paying off the actual loan to buy it. So the reason we bought a brand new car is, number one, the car payment on the new car is only $30 more than our old car payment. The car is brand new.
So you're going to at least get 3-4 years before you get issues.
Well, at least this one is going to be, like, we bought that one. That car is, like, almost 8 years old. This one is going to be brand new. The other thing is, we're going to know exactly what kind of driver was in it. We're going to know exactly what kind of maintenance history, what kind of repairs have been done, like, because it's only going to be us driving it. And because even though it was a pre-owned, pre-certified, you don't know what kind of stresses were put on the car by the other driver that they can't even tell that are going to have an effect that probably cracked the engine block. I do know, we did know when we bought it that the person in 2 years had destroyed the transmission.
Jeez.
And that is not an easy thing to do. So, and I had said to my husband at the time, I'm concerned about buying a car where somebody drove it so badly that they destroyed a transmission in 2 years. But he wanted that car because it was fancy. So now he has a much less fancy Countryman because now he is older and realizes how inconvenient it is to cart 2 growing children around. And their stuff. This one it has a hatchback and you can fold one or more of the seats down so that you can drive things, and he likes it, and I let him get the sport model, so it's got pickup, but he doesn't have that crazy sports suspension thing where it has the bumpy ride, and it's much better. So I guess that's mostly a heartbreak for me because spending more money. And a crush for my husband, who is thrilled to be getting a brand new car. I can't complain about it because, number one, he makes all the money.
Yeah.
Number two, he has never, ever bought a brand new car for himself or owned a brand new car. And number three, I have driven a brand new car for the last 9 years because I lease a brand new car every 3 years. So I really cannot complain.
On a side note, we bought our car, the Honda, and it was supposed to be my husband's. He didn't like that it didn't have great pickup, so now it's mine. And I kind of feel bad that, again, I get the new car.
Yeah, I don't feel bad at all.
I do because it's nice, but I mean, he drives it. He just doesn't like it as much.
Just to give you a comparison, it was only going to be $100 less a month to lease the car for 3 years. And I was like, if we're going to put that much in every year for 3 years, let's just buy the damn car. I know it's different, but at least at the end of this, we'll have a car, and hopefully we'll get a couple more years out of it before it starts
I leased once. I will never lease again.
I love leasing, but I'm the kind of driver that puts less than 8,000 miles a year on the car.
We put a lot, and we like to drive them into the ground. Our last 2 cars that we've had, actually every car we've owned,
every car I owned until I started leasing
into the ground.
Was driven into the ground. But
we owned for 6-7 years plus.
I just think it's a good idea to have one car that you're paying for, and the other one, I get a pretty good deal on my lease. And I upgrade it every 3 years because I'm just not 100% sure that that's the car I want to own. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like the fact that I only have to own it for 3 years. So, and all the stuff is on them, like if something goes wrong with it, it's on them. It's not on me unless I cause it, like an accident. So anyway, that's my crushes and heartbreaks. Sheila has a really big crush.
Sorry, I'm counting.
Are you going to tell your really big
I will,
crush?
but I was counting.
Oh, well, I'm running out of things to say.
My really big crush is and unfortunately, I don't have it with me.
I was hoping you would bring it.
No, because I forgot, and I need to bring it for work. I'm trying to see.
Ta-da!
I passed my exam for my phlebotomy exam.
She is a certified phlebotomy technician.
I am a certified phlebotomist technician. I now can have Sheila Duong, CPT.
That's
behind
so
my
cool.
name.
And you can have ASPJ. I don't know what that means.
T, actually. It's from the American Society of Phlebotomy Tech something or other. Right here, technicians.
There we go. American Society of Phlebotomy Technicians.
That's who I took my exam with. I got the results Tuesday. I got a 75 on my written and 100% on my practical, which I had already known. The scary part is it was an envelope. It was, the bigger envelopes like this. And we got the packet when we got the exam, and I had to fill out my address.
Mm-hmm.
And when I took my exam and he did the practical, he sealed it and put a line over it so that they could see that it was sealed.
Mm-hmm.
I got it back. The seal was still there, but they had cut the side of the envelope, never sealed it back up. So my certificate and my membership card, or whatever you want to call it, were in the envelope, freely open. It could have fallen out.
Oh my God.
I'm like, really?
Hey, it didn't.
No, it didn't. It would have been funny if I got an empty envelope.
I know. I am proud of you.
I'm very excited. Proud of you. I told my coworkers, and they were all screaming and hollering for me because they know how difficult this exam is.
That you worked 3 jobs.
Being a parent, yeah.
Being a parent, working the overnight job, and going to school. And then you worked 3 jobs, being a parent, working overnight, and doing your
externship.
And
I wasn't getting paid for that at the time.
Did not get paid. And then you worked the 3 jobs, being a parent, doing the overnight, and working at the place that you were an extern, and studied for this exam and did a good job. So
I didn't study that much. Let me tell you, though.
You know what?
There is a viewer here that watches us and is doing it. Study. It's not easy.
You know what? I think a part of thing that helped you is that you've consistently worked doing it since you got out of school. Not everybody
that certainly
is
helped
lucky
the practical.
enough.
Well,
I think, but I think it helps drill some of that other knowledge into you too.
Yeah, there were a lot of questions that I knew based on on-site training, if you want to call it. I know the heart because my son has a heart condition. Right. I screwed up on one of the veins, which was fine. But it was not easy, and I'm glad I hopefully will never have to do it again. But I do have to renew it by the end of this year. I'm like, I just got it, and I have to renew it.
What do you have to do to renew it?
I have to pay money.
Oh, okay. Well, I have little or no sympathy for that because as a lawyer, I have to renew my license every year, even though I am not actively practicing law. I pay $150 a year not to practice law. I would be paying a lot more to practice law, but if
you didn't, and you for some reason wanted to practice again, would you have to take the bar all over again?
No, but what I would have to do is every year that I didn't pay them $150, I would have to pay that plus interest. So if I went for 10 years without paying, that's $150 a year. So it's $1,500. I'd have to pay that back plus whatever to get so it's
in your best interest.
It's in my best interest to just throw the money in. And it goes for good cause. It goes to investigate, bad lawyers who are doing bad things. And it goes to pay, some of it goes to pay for public prosecutors and, pro bono lawyers and pro bono work. So it's not like I'm throwing money into the wind, but $150 a year, like clockwork, that's what I pay. And it would be, when I was working, my employer paid it. So it's now that I'm not working,
Yeah, unfortunately, my employee won't pay for it.
How much is yours to renew?
I don't remember. It's not that high. It's in the double digits, and I want to say it's $35, $40.
Oh.
But we don't get paid.
We don't have sympathy
Well, we don't, but we don't get paid a lot anyway.
I don't get paid anything. I have to pay $150
Again,
a year.
That's your choice. I don't want to hear it. That's your choice.
I'm just saying I don't have sympathy. That's all I said. I think it's $350 a year if you're working. But lawyers do get paid more than phlebotomists.
Yeah, so a lot more. I'm trying to think what else is going on. Not much else is going on. Zachary's got an appointment on Monday with his liver clinic.
But that's probably going to go well, right?
Yeah, I just got to make a phone call and make sure we don't have to do more blood work. I have the weekend off.
Wow.
I'm not working tomorrow morning. I'm not working tonight. I am, however, working Sunday, which I wasn't thinking when I planned it because I have to go in Monday morning, but it's all right. That's about it, I think. No heartbreaks. It was nice to be home with my kids.
We had a good fun weekend. But it was nice to get home.
It was nice to get home, but it was kind of funny because my husband, I called him on our way home telling him that we were leaving. I called him when I was leaving your house. And he goes, okay. I said, what, you don't miss me? I said, you don't say anything? He goes, it's your choice to stay out late. I'm like, you don't miss me? Because I had to get up early the next morning. But I was home. I saw him, gave the kids kisses, and went to bed.
Yeah.
And
I would have done that, but I had to go pick my parents up from the airport. That was unbelievable. My poor parents. I don't blame them at all. They did get $800 from British Airways.
But
so
that's
nice.
to go towards another flight, or do they get it back?
No, they got cash.
Oh.
$800 cash. Actually, it's like a debit card that they can take to the bank and take the cash out.
Nice.
I know. They were like $800. Plus the money that we gave them to spend on their big anniversary trip that we wanted them to totally splurge. They didn't spend any of it.
Of course not.
They're going to splurge at home. I'm like, I better not see that going to pay for like the propane bill or something like that. I wanted them to do something special with it. But it's their gift, so I really can't control how they spend it.
They sound like me.
I know, they do sound like you. That sounds exactly like you. Speaking of which, Baubles and Bling. As you may know, last week, Sheila had bought one thing. And I bought several things. And I said in the episode, I believe I said that I was done. But as you already know, I bought the kitten yarn from Tess Yarns. But I also bought 3 skeins of yarn from Into the Whirled. Now, to give me some credit, it was sale yarn. I can't remember how much it cost.
15.
Oh, it was 15. It was marked down. Ooh, that was
Quite
good
a bit,
price.
yeah.
Yeah, this is her DK yarn, the deli base in superwash merino, cashmere, and nylon.
Oh, wow.
It's
Good
DK.
deal.
I got 2 in the Qualinesti colorway and 1 in the Squeak colorway. And I think they go together really well. And I told Chris I want to try to design a wrap or a shawl, because this is a big amount of yarn.
Yeah.
That is solid based, but has like the colored stuff going through it somehow. When this is going to happen, I don't know, because I have not felt motivated to design or work on designs for a long time.
I know you haven't.
No, I this year has been a tough year for me. It's been tough. I went through that really bad period at the beginning of 2013 where I just wasn't motivated to do anything, and I'm still struggling to get out of that. So hopefully this will inspire me. It's really pretty. I love these colors together. Wish you could see the more true color of them.
No, it's not very bright in here.
No, it isn't. It was because the sun was out, but it looks like the sun has gone under. Anyway, I love it. Thank you, Chris, for making such beautiful yarn. And it was really nice to see Chris. And if you haven't checked out Into the Whirled, you totally should.
I wanted to look for yarn there, but to get there, it would have been...
I had to push bodies out of the way to get these 3 skeins.
And I didn't want to buy something for the sake of buying something.
Right.
And I still think I did, but I don't have my... Are you done with yours?
I am done. I'm totally done.
I don't have my Bauble and Bling because I, as always, am coming from work.
She's on the way home from work.
But I did pull up a picture of basically what I got. It's I bought a skein of yarn from Tess Designer Yarns. It's superwash merino, and it is a white, gray, black. And you're not going to see it very well, but that's black. That's pretty much what I got. It's
pretty.
So soft and squishy, and it's I think it's, I want to say it's 500 yards. 560 yards, so I can do like a cowl and mittens or headband and fingerless gloves, probably more like it.
Yeah, and my kitten, just in case you were wondering, is 325 yards. But it is 65% cashmere and 35% silk. It was, I'm not even going to lie to you, it was the single most expensive skein of yarn that I have ever purchased in my life.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever purchased that in one skein of yarn.
And totally...
I think the most I've spent is 40.
Yeah.
And that was a silk based.
Yeah. It was expensive. But I'm going to tell you, from knitting with it, worth every penny. But it is not a yarn that I would buy frequently or in a large quantity. No. I was thinking a sweater would be so nice out of it. It would cost a fortune. Oh my God.
And mine wasn't as expensive. Mine was $35 for 560 yards.
Mine was,
which
it was
nice.
$85 for a skein of the kitten, and that is a lot to spend on a single skein of yarn, but cashmere.
Yeah.
It's a lot of cashmere. It was worth it to me, but like I said, probably never again.
No, it's a once to
I should never have
thing.
touched Denise's skein that she was holding up.
See, and that's where it was funny because I was talking to a coworker, the one I'm making the socks for, and telling her, this trip, I looked at fingering weight and I walked away because I don't need it. And knitting on this reminds me, again, how much I love my Blue Moon. Now, Blue Moon sent me an email about they were putting up all their certain colorways all at once. I will definitely be buying another one of their, not from this because that's not what it was, but one of their grab bags.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No problem will I be buying. Because it's like I keep forgetting how much I love it. So if I knit with it,
I might have to buy one for presents for next year. I
just really love it.
I like to have one under my belt in case I have
nice
to give
to knit
a present.
And I ended up finding my socks that I was telling you about.
The ones that you couldn't find?
Yeah, they're underneath the bed.
Oh.
I just really enjoy knitting it. And it's so versatile because it can either be socks or it can be a shawl or something.
It's nice yarn.
So, but I was telling her when I was looking at yarn this weekend, I was looking at it like, okay, do I want to spend the money on basically something that I'm giving away?
Oh, see.
Because that's me. I am a process knitter. I knit for the fun of knitting. I might wear it once or twice, and then it goes into the bin. It's just how I am.
I am a process knitter in the sense that I knit projects that I enjoy the process of knitting, but I am also a selfish knitter in that 90% of the time, whatever I knit, I will use for myself.
See, I call you more of a project knitter because you knit projects for yourself. That's how I call it. But you knit for the process of knitting, but you keep them. I don't.
Yeah, I don't.
The only thing I
keep
give is socks.
If I do give it away, it's going to be to somebody who's knit worthy, like my mother or my sister-in-law, or like somebody that like gets it. I don't just give them away I could never give away like you do because I just.
Well, and again, when I was picking this color out for my coworker, I told her she has 2 boys like me, and she's got 2 dogs that are boys. So I told her I'd pick her a girly color, and because she just seemed really enamored with my knitting, and I like that, and they're very intrigued by it. So to me, she's worthy of it. But it was funny because I told her how long it took me to knit this. I'd say it probably took me about 5.5 hours of knitting. And she's like, oh no, I don't want to wear them now. Oh no, you can't. She's like, no, don't give me those. I don't want them. I'm like, but to me, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Because it kept me awake. And I was enjoying myself. I was listening to a book on tape. I mean, if I wasn't enjoying myself, I would never give it to her.
See, my mom knits socks because she enjoys it. It relaxes her. But it's so warm where she lives that she hardly ever wears hand knit socks unless she's visiting me. And she's going to be here next week, by the way.
I saw.
So,
yeah, I just, for me, I like to give my stuff away. The only things I don't give away is things that were given to me. I did a scarf shot. This is the colonnade, the small colonnade.
That's really pretty. I would knit that.
I think I want to knit it. I might knit the larger one, but this is a small colonnade, and I can't remember. I want to say Jared Flood. I don't know who. It's one of the male designers. I'm pretty sure of it.
It's probably Jared Flood.
Because I don't think
it's some horrible technique. I
don't think it has a Stephen. It's not Stephen Wed, but it's
West.
Sorry, Wed.
You want to wed Stephen
No,
West?
I do not. I don't think he wants to wed me.
Probably not. I think he has a boyfriend.
No, that's not it.
I think colonnade has 2 L's.
I did put 2 L's.
Sorry. 2 N's.
Is it 2 N's?
Try COLONN. See if that works. No? Did you mean Colin? Why, no. No, I did not.
Stephen West. It is a Stephen West.
Oh.
I apologize to Stephen West.
Then I might like to knit it.
No, it's not in my library. I like the large one.
And it's a free pattern. Oops.
No, it's not. Not this one.
Oh, it's not?
No.
I thought I said this pattern is available for
the
free.
larger one is not.
Oh.
This is for the small one, I believe. He does have a larger one. Maybe it is. I don't know. Maybe it's the small one that's not free.
Okay, just calm down.
All right, I take it back. So
No, all right. Can you tell that the cats want me to feed them?
Little Colonnade. This is the Little Colonnade, and the Little Colonnade is not free.
The big one is.
The big one is. It's the other way around. I don't remember what yarn this was.
But it was very pretty.
It was a shawl swap. And
Sheila likes the swaps.
I do. Well, I used to. I haven't done them in years. A couple of years. And I love the fact that it's now shawl or scarf wearing season. So this is what I went to work. Hi, we have a cat. We're almost done.
We are almost done. So, gossip and innuendo. And this is Oscar. He wants me to feed him, and also it's cold. He's been laying on me all day because it's cold. And probably because he knows that I'm sick. I don't know how they sense that, but they just
I think there's
do.
a smell to it.
Maybe. He's been on me all day. So we have a couple of events coming up. On the 2nd of November is the Fiber Festival of New England, which is at the Big E in Springfield. West Springfield.
It's 2 weeks.
November 2nd. So that is next weekend. Not this weekend, next weekend. I'm going to be there with my mom and hopefully my friend Kathy. I feel terrible because
poor
Kathy and I were trying to meet up. Our texts did not always happen at the same time. We were trapped in that one building at Rhinebeck for like 2 hours and we couldn't get out.
An hour.
It seemed like forever.
It was only an hour.
It was very stressful. And we never actually hooked up with her the whole weekend, and so I'm kind of hoping she's not mad about it. But there was just no way that it was happening. It was too crazy. So I'm going to that, and then I'm also going to Stitches East, which is November 9th. And I was going to go with Kathy to that too. Kathy, call me. Tell me you're not mad and that you still want to go to these.
Oh, I highly doubt she's mad.
I highly doubt she's mad too, but it was just crazy. Like, you remember, Saturday was crazy. We got there way later than, because of me, because I forgot the tickets. So we got there way later than we planned. We got trapped in that building. Like, it was a traffic jam, and we kept running into people. It was like,
it's funny, because the people
steps.
we were looking for, I mean, not that we weren't looking, but
it was insane.
We kept running into the same people when we were trying to find other people we couldn't even find. Yeah, it was we never finished. We didn't go for the whole festival at all.
We didn't we made it into like 2 of the barns, and we didn't do a building. We barely did. We made it to 2 of the barns, and it was like the end of the day. We were trapped. It was very crowded this year.
It was very crowded this year, and I was disappointed I was not able to get my Gypsy Girl creation transition. Well, I know, but we were trying for Sunday, remember?
Yeah.
And they still didn't have it on Sunday, so I looked online, and you have to, I should make a phone call, but...
You just need to order some.
I do, but some other day. Yeah, some other day.
So, those are the upcoming events. The upcoming events are in our show notes. We're going to do drawings for the 2...
Sweater knit along and charity knit along.
As I'm talking...
Wait a minute.
Oh, we didn't do the drawings yet.
We have to do drawings for our knit alongs.
We did do drawings for the knit alongs.
But we did, for our other knit alongs. This wasn't a knit along. This was
I'm sorry. What am I saying?
Where's Julia, Picture Thread, and Train to Maine.
Yes. We had how many in the...
We had 9 pictures.
9 pictures.
8 pictures.
8 pictures. One of them was my post talking about it. 8 pictures. The random generator picked number 7. She used her random generator thing on her iPad.
Random.org.
And that was Kate Pricey. Kate from Melbourne, Australia, who we were lucky enough to meet at the podcaster meetup with her husband.
Who they were flying back to Melbourne the next day on Sunday.
Yes, they came all the way from Australia. So get in touch with me, Kate Pricey, and I'll get your info and pass it on to Carolyn because you won the $20 gift card to Webb's and a copy of her patterns. It's exciting. And Lois, Knitting's My Bag, is actually knitting the sweater right now.
The one thing I'm questioning is also, Kate, let us know if you can get Webb's in Melbourne.
They ship.
They ship to Melbourne? Mm-hmm. Okay. Because I was thinking if not, maybe...
And then
figure something else out.
Train to Maine. We had a lot of people in that thread. How many were in it?
50-something?
50-something. Wow, these were both at
51.
These were both at the end of the range today. Because we got number 49 was Pug Stitches, who is Jess from Massachusetts. So she'll definitely be able to use the patterns and wear them and get a $10 gift card, I believe was the other prize.
Oh, all right.
$10 for the drawing and I think $20 for the Where's
The picture.
Carolyn. So that's pretty exciting.
So congratulations, you two.
Congratulations, you guys. Thanks for playing along. We had so much fun. If you got to meet Carolyn when you took a picture, she is a fun lady.
She was really nice.
Super sweet. I love her. So this is a shout out to you, Carolyn. Thanks for doing a
contest with
giveaway with us. And I can't wait for you to see Lois's sweater. I've seen pictures of it.
Have you?
Yeah, she texted me a picture last night.
You need to give me her text. Her phone number.
Oh, that's right, because she lost her phone.
Anyways.
Sorry. Yes, we will be doing that.
Note.
And I wanted to say to the lovely lady that won the beautiful Vesper striping yarn. And I went on vacation right when you gave me your address, and I said I would mail it when I got back. I didn't mail it. I should not be in charge of mailing. You need to be in charge of mailing. That just needs to be the one thing that you do, because I am irresponsible. I'm an irresponsible person who forgets to mail things, and now that really sweet lady is not going to be able to.
So let's do it right now after we finish.
Yes.
So on that note, have a good week. Thanks for watching if you're a continuing viewer, and if you're a new viewer, thanks for checking us out. We really do appreciate it. Knit with